This is not a very good hunting channel. And today, I'm going to be going through some of my gear, my new gear for whitetail season, and I'll be giving you my first impressions and kind of explain what I was looking to get out of each piece kind of thing, and what combinations I'm looking at using. So stick around. So, I'll start off with what I had been dealing with before, or wearing before. For the last basically 6-7 years since I've been doing it, I've been hunting in an ever increasing bulk of clothing. Up here where I hunt in Ontario, it gets cold in November, December, and our hunting season goes from the 1st of October all the way up to the end of December for bow archery season. I don't hunt too much before gun season in November, simply because there's not very much deer up here at that time. There's deer when the apples are out and dropping, but that's before October comes around. So it's there might still be some apples left early in October, but I'm not seeing the deer at that time. So our property is a fairly late activity property. I'm slowly working on changing that, but for the time being, the majority of the action that I've seen is November to the end of December. And that being said, it gets cold. So I think for this video, I'm going to just start with what I plan to be using during gun season, warmer parts of gun season. Because even in November, we'll get days where it's like 17 degrees Celsius. I'll put that up, whatever that is in Fahrenheit, but the majority of the time it's hovering around 0 and under. In the mornings it's easily -10, -15 sometimes. So that's fairly cold. But for the mid to warmer temperatures that I'm likely to encounter, I'm going to end up going with, this is the Celsius Midi that I always wear when I'm here. Not that one. I'll wear this guy here because I don't really want to be doing too much work or doing too many things in the clothes that I hunt with, because I don't want to get that scent. I might be moving the outboard motor, and if it smells like gas or anything like that, not that I'm spilling gas all over my nice Sitka gear, but regardless, the least amount of work I can be doing in my actual hunting gear, the better. And I got an insane deal on Celsius Midi, so I decided I'll grab that too, and I'll have two. That way, in case anything happens to one, I'll still have a nice insulator piece with the second one. So what I'm wearing underneath is a First Lite, I think it's the Kiln merino base layer, and on top of that is the Fanatic Hoodie. Now, One thing I will say, I don't know if the Sitka base layers are like this, but maybe because they're, you know, built by the same company, they're designed to work together. I think that's how it is, but either way, I went with the merino, the First Lite base layers because I heard great reviews, and they were, I don't want to say, yeah, they were considerably cheaper than the Sitka base layers. But the other issue was trying to find Sitka base layers up here in Canada. For most of the stuff, you got to order it, and when you order it, you're paying shipping, and then on top of that is brokerage fees to get it across the border, all the duty and taxes and all kinds of stuff. It adds up. So I didn't have that stuff with the First Lite, or at least it was cheaper anyways. When I ordered this stuff, it was a while ago. Try to look for it on sale. And so because I saw really good videos and good reviews on the First Lite base layers, I figured I'll go with that. So I think it's the 150 weight merino base layer. It comes in camo, so if I just got the gray, because it's going to be underneath. I'm not out there hunting in it, so it doesn't really matter to me what the color was. So I got the gray, the pants as well. And then, so for practical use, I'm going to be using the Fanatic on top of that. And on the bottom, I'm going to be wearing the Equinox Midi Pants. And these pants are awesome. They have great, nice Berber fleece in it, and they're warm. They're really nice. The fabric is nice and quiet. It's fairly tough. I don't know if it's the same fabric that they make the mapping of the Fanatic out of. They seem like they're fairly similar, but I don't know. I'd have to ask somebody from Sitka for it. But this setup here would be for early season or for warm season gun. Like for on the warm days, like in the evening. I've hunted sometimes with my dad a few years ago. I want to say 2015. We were almost down to our t-shirts. It was so warm during gun season, November in Ontario. So I can see this coming in handy on those warm days. During gun season, you got to wear blaze orange vest and hat. So if I'm out and it's warm, I still be wearing a fleece vest on top of this, a blaze orange fleece vest. So the Fanatic hoodie itself, it's nice. I like the features. It's all this stuff. I just thought it was going to be thicker. It feels warm. Like right now, I just looked. It's 7 degrees outside right now, but it's still early enough in the morning that the hunt camp is still cold from what it was last night, which was -2. I don't have a thermometer in the camp. It's sitting out the window, so it tells me how cold it is outside. But when I got here this morning, it was about 2 or 3 degrees. And I took some video this morning of just, wearing this kind of stuff. And by itself, with the, I'm wearing my Muck Arctic boots that I got. With just the Fanatic hoodie, the merino layer underneath from First Lite. Same thing, the bottoms, the thermal layer underneath, like the base layer underneath the Equinox Midi Pants, is not super warm, but again, it's like 4 degrees Celsius, so it's getting close to 0. So I wouldn't be wearing this in that. It would be too cold for that kind of thing, but it's fairly comfortable sitting here now, which I would say maybe it's about 4 or 5 degrees. It's decent. If I was moving around, I'd definitely be okay. But the reason I mentioned that it seems like it's thin is it has this, like, the polar, what is it called? microgrid fleece, that stuff. But it feels, I have a Cabela's ECW extreme cold weather system, whatever the it's the whitetail or something. I don't know. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it up. But I have a Cabela's microgrid fleece shirt that I used to wear, and it almost feels thicker than this, and it was a fraction of the cost. So I don't know. I've read everyone raves about the Fanatic hoodie, so I figured I'll give it a chance and try it out. I like it. It's comfortable. I like the hood part with the what do you call it? With the mask. Get that going here. So I like that it has that, because it will come in handy just, just in general. Even if it's cold outside, I can still use the mask. But it's nice because it layers well under the other stuff. I even put the hat on top. But again, I mean, you're wearing blaze orange, so that's the Fanatic, and that's what I'm going to be wearing for a little bit of warmer temperatures. If it starts to get colder, I'll throw on the Celsius Midi on top of it, and then the vest on top of that. And this is a nice piece. I really like the Celsius Midi. I mean, you see my other videos. I'm wearing one all the time. It's nice. It's quiet. It's decently warm. I haven't really had it out. I was wearing it out this morning when I was trying on the different sets, and it's coupled with the Equinox Midi Pants and the layers underneath. It's pretty nice and warm. I was comfortable, and it was 4 degrees outside. Now, would I want to be sitting up in a tree stand 4 degrees for an extended period of time? I don't know. I'll try. I'll see what I can get away with, what temperatures I can go and how long I can be out in them. But this is basically going to be the insulator piece with the Fanatic jacket that I have. So the main point of upgrading all my gear was not necessarily that the gear I had was crappy leading up to it, but it was so bulky. I had to wear like between 6 and 8 layers. Here's one. That's the outer shell from, I think it's Yukon gear. So I had a few pieces of Yukon gear, different camo, as the bib and jacket. But layering underneath that was, I had the base layer, a merino base layer, not the First Lite set, just a Norfolk Warehouse. I think it was Dakota. So a set of that. I had flannel, like jogging pant type things underneath that, as well as the Cabela's cold weather on top, up on my arms and chest. Then I would have the Canadian Forces cold weather fleece, like the polar fleece type stuff, the green fleece, whatever. So I'd have that top and bottom, and then on top of the pants, I would have sometimes like a denim type thing, just for an added layer. It wasn't bad. It's just like wearing jeans on top, and then I would have the bib on that. So I'd have 4 layers on my legs, and then up top I would have the merino base layer, the Cabela's cold weather shirt. I would have a thick hoodie. Sometimes I'd have a down vest. Then I would have a big fleece shirt on top of that, and then the shell also had a liner in it, so that was kind of like a like a, what do you call it? Not a down. It wasn't down, but kind of like a Primaloft type Thinsulate layer in that, and then the shell. So it'd be between 6 and 7, and then sometimes even that, I would wear just like a sweatshirt underneath the vest or on top of the vest that was fleece, but it didn't have a hood. Because when you start wearing so many layers, that was the other thing. A lot of zippers. There was a lot of zippers. So between all the layers and the zippers, I'd have to like stagger the zipper location on each shirt so that I wouldn't have, 5 zippers all stuck against my Adam's apple while I'm trying to sit there, turn my head. So because of all that, I decided to switch and upgrade my gear, so I didn't have to wear so much. So right now, I'm currently wearing 3 layers. Once it gets cold enough, I'll be wearing the Fanatic Jacket, and that should be it. I shouldn't need anything more than that, ideally. And even hunting into the late season where it could be out minus 25 to be out hunting up in the tree stand or in the blind, which would be warmer, depending on where I'm seeing the action. So that's why I went with this stuff, and it'll be interesting to see. So that was the Fanatic and the Fanatic Hoodie, the base layer, and the Celsius Midi, the Equinox Midi, and the base layer. I think that's probably all I'm going to go with for the majority of the time, and then throw the Fanatic on top of that. Depending on what I feel like, I can just go with the Fanatic bibs and then the base layer. But I'll give these Equinox Midi a chance, and once it starts getting cold, I know that the Midi will be on with the base layer and the Fanatic bibs, so that'll be the colder part. So yeah, so for my warm, well, I can't really tell. I'll say for me, the warmer days that I'll be hunting will be this setup here with the Midi Pants and the Celsius Midi Jacket and the Fanatic Hoodie. That'll probably be my go-to for the earlier season when it's a little bit warmer, or during the warm days that we get maybe in November, mid-November. So that's it for that. I'll check out my setups for the for the colder weather, and I'll go through some of the additional things that I plan to be using, like my hats and gloves and stuff like that. So that'll be in the next video. So stick around, and hopefully you guys found that interesting, and hope you're out enjoying yourselves and getting ready for the season. Take care.